Title card reads Athens Armory on a terracotta textured background.
This is part of the history of the community.
A place where soldiers and citizens actively serve together.
This place is just history.
Title card reads Athens Armory, Rebirth of an Icon, beside a black and white historical photo of the Armory building and a current color photo of its brick facade with crenellated roofline. A disclaimer then reads, the government channel, TGC, has made every attempt to present a historically accurate program. Efforts were made to locate as many relevant visuals as possible, including several rare photographs. For instances in which actual photographs and/or video of the building could not be located, additional materials from other sources have been used to represent the visual story of the Athens Armory. A vintage photo of the Armory's front entrance appears alongside the quote, "We shape our buildings. Thereafter they shape us." Winston Churchill. The Athens Armory's multi-story brick exterior with crenellated roofline and Athens stone plaque is shown from below against a blue sky, with an American flag, a state flag, and a POW/MIA flag on a nearby pole.
As the mayor of Athens and standing here with the First Lady of Athens, Connie Patterson, Associate Dean for the Patton College of Education.
A man wearing glasses, a dark suit, and a patterned tie stands beside a woman in a striped sleeveless top inside a high-ceilinged room with white steel trusses and pendant lights, speaking and gesturing with both hands.
The groundbreaking was 2 years ago, which is hard to believe, and now to be here for
10 people stand on a wood floor stage holding a red ribbon for a ribbon-cutting ceremony. A 2025 Chiron appears at lower left.
the ribbon cutting of the Armory. It's truly a transformation, which just sounds cliche, but it's not.
An Ohio historical marker plaque mounted on a brick wall, with partial text reading ENS National Armory visible below a chain-link fence.
You know, you have to come down to the Armory, come and check it out. It has completely been retransformed into a community space, but also a place where people can get off their kitchen tables if they're working remotely and come to a space that serves as a co-work, share workspace.
An empty co-working interior shows long light wood tables with blue chairs, a bar height counter, and a seating area with red armchairs around a round table.
I really got to give some credit to Mayor Rick Abel, who bought this, and he saved it, basically.
Rick Abel, mayor of Athens 1996 to 2007, speaks on camera against a blue background, beside a black and white historical photo of the Armory's crenellated brick facade.
From going into complete disrepair and ultimately having to get knocked down. But really, there's no big grant.
Andy Stone, Service Safety Director, City of Athens, speaks inside the Armory's white trussed interior.
Source out there with buckets of money to rehab old buildings, right? You have to patch together things, and you couldn't patch
Stone gestures with his right hand as he continues speaking.
things together in order to deliver a project until you found a viable end use. And there have been lots of ideas over the years, but none were viable until now.
A man in a dark suit and patterned tie speaks inside a large hall with white steel roof trusses and string lights visible behind him.
When I first joined council in 2016, I got a letter from former
A person in military uniform stands at a podium before a seated audience filling folding chairs in the renovated Armory Hall. A videographer with a camera stands at the right.
Judge Alan Goldsberry saying, "Save the Armory." That, if there's one thing you can do on city.
Sam Crowell, President of Council, City of Athens, speaks on camera inside the Armory.
Council, save that space. So it's been on my mind from the very beginning, and it's awesome that we got here.
A photo of Judge L. Alan Goldsberry holding an Ohio State Bar Association certificate reading 50 years of service, 1969 to 2019 is displayed. The shot then cuts to a metal ladder mounted against an exposed brick wall leading up to a skylight opening. A black and white historical photo of a crowd gathered outside a multi-storied brick building appears alongside the quote, "Architecture is not about space but about time." Vito Acconci.
You know, this armory, I have heard so many stories from boxing matches or smokers to
A vintage color illustration of a red brick multi-story building labeled Ohio with an arched entrance and stepped front porch.
dog shows, to dog training, to rummage sales, to dances. A lot of our older citizens run.
A black and white photo of densely packed miscellaneous items, furniture, racks, framed pictures, and carts, overlaid on the armory illustration. The label representation appears at the bottom.
Reminisce about there being dances in this space that the Ohio Guard would have opened up the drill floor to.
A black and white clip of people dancing dissolves back to the color armory illustration labeled Ohio.
Have something like that. So it's so enjoyable to hear all these stories. It really kind of.
The speaker dissolves into a street-level view driving toward a large stone building with an arched entrance at the end of a downtown block lined with brick storefronts.
Puts together the quilt that is the city of Athens, the fabric that pulls us all together.
A colorful mural on a brick wall reads Athena, "Welcome to Armory Park," with logos for Arts 2 Ohio, Fine Arts Ohio University, Athens Makerspace, and Athens Below.
As a community, and to know that those things can happen again, that we can have dances in here again, we can have.
Sam Crowell smiles in the Armory Hall, then dissolves to a wide interior shot of the same hall.
Performances in here again. I don't know that we're going to have a boxing match in here or not, but you know, all kinds of things can happen in this.
Groups of attendees mill about the Armory Hall floor near display banners labeled "Enriching Initiatives and Participation." Rows of empty folding chairs fill the foreground and a glass elevator shaft and open mezzanine are visible at center.
Space, it's just whatever someone dreams of, and if the space is not reserved to be used for something.
Steve Patterson, Mayor, City of Athens, speaks on camera inside the Armory Hall.
Other than that can likely happen to make something for everybody to be a part of.
Attendees stand in small groups across the Armory Hall floor. An Enriching Initiatives banner and a wood and steel staircase are visible at left.
Our role as a nonprofit is to run the facility. So that is managing the building, booking clients.
Sadie Mead, Director, Blue Dot Co-working, speaks on camera inside the Armory Hall.
For membership in the co-working space, either offices, designated desks, rental space for meetings, for community members, as well as the event space as a whole, and then tending to needs of Athens County Foundation as it relates to the building. 2
pull-up banners stand in the venue, one reading Enriching Initiatives and an Athens County Foundation banner showing athensfoundation.org, 740-594-6061. A sepia photograph of a group in military uniforms appears over a crinkled paper background, with the quote, "Without heroes we are all plain people, and don't know how far we can go." Bernard Malamud.
The way that this community embraces the veterans that have walked through these halls. Think about that, 111 years of.
The exterior entrance of a brick building with concrete steps, a flagpole, and a plaque reading "Donated to the City of Athens by the American Legion Post 21, Athens, Ohio."
Soldiers coming through this facility, whether it was infantry units, field artillery units, and finally air defense.
Brigadier General Matthew S. Woodruff speaks at a microphone in uniform with medals and an Ohio patch, inset over a view of an empty interior hallway with a worn floor.
Units have walked through these halls. Very esteemed people that served.
The background shifts to a view of an open interior door with peeling paint at the base of the walls and a worn concrete floor.
In the European theater in World War I, the Pacific theater in World War II, are all going to be honored.
The background changes to a large open interior room with a wood plank floor, exposed steel roof trusses, pendant lights, and a basketball hoop visible at the far end.
By your revitalization of this facility, of your embracing of community, of your looking to.
A room interior shows peeling paint along the lower walls, a worn tile floor, a metal stepladder, and stacked blue panels, with 2 windows visible in the background.
Toward the future, and to embrace the ability to take this facility and make it something the entire community can benefit from.
A sepia photograph shows a group of people in wide-brimmed hats and military-style uniforms gathered outside a brick building's arched entrance doorway.
You have to think back that this building its doors were open at a point in time when the Great War was taking place, World War I. There were soldiers who came out of this space.
5 people in World War I-era military uniforms and wide-brimmed hats stand outside the Brick Armory building. A Chiron reads Athens Armory Day, May 2018.
Who served with the Ohio Guard, who were federalized and went over to serve World War II, Korean War.
A glass display case contains a mannequin torso dressed in a military uniform with belt pouches, alongside small books, documents, and a placard headed Cephas Verco, Company C, 135th Machine Gun Battalion, 37th Buckeye Division.
Vietnam, so this building is steeped in military history. And
a display case holds a round canteen labeled Ohio with a placard reading Canteen marked to Company L, 7th Infantry Regiment, flanked by sepia military photographs on the wall behind.
Military legacy, and so we're able to honor that too with a grant that we received from the state.
A person wearing an American Legion Post 21 cap and jacket salutes at the groundbreaking ceremony, October 2023.
Legislature to make sure we can put in place the correct and proper recognition of military members who have served.
Steve Patterson, Mayor, City of Athens, speaks inside the Armory's large open room with white steel roof trusses and pendant lights visible behind him.
It's important to me as a National Guardsman, as well as an employee of the City of Athens, that this historic asset that belongs to the city can be repurposed, and not only for economic development, but also for...
Andy Stone, Service Safety Director, City of Athens, speaks on camera inside a building with white steel roof trusses.
For celebration of its history and service to the Ohio National Guard soldiers that came through here. There is a National Guard historian.
A museum display case holds 2 black and white photographs alongside military artifacts. A label reads artillery to determine direction for orienting weapons and to coordinate timing for firing.
There's a history office, and we worked pretty extensively with them when it came to the Hall of Honor.
A panoramic sepia-toned photograph of a large group of uniformed soldiers wearing wide-brimmed hats is displayed inside a glass case.
Honor concept and the work that Southeast Ohio History Center is doing to curate the exhibits that will be open to the public here in the building.
A display case holds a green military dress uniform with a Collins nameplate and rows of service ribbons, alongside medals, photographs, documents, and a folded flag. A slide shows a photo of a person in a dark shirt mopping a wood floor beside a yellow mop bucket, next to the quote, "Alone, we can do so little, together, we can do so much." Helen Keller.
The capital stack, the amount of money that we had to pull in from different grant sources, state funding.
Multiple US $100 bills fill the screen, then transition to reveal a photo of a domed neoclassical government building overlaid on the currency.
Federal funding, local funding with our own match has been a real challenge, and often was the case.
A man wearing glasses, a dark suit, an orange pattern tie, and lapel pins speaks on camera inside a building with white steel roof trusses.
Where our Service Safety Director for the City of Athens, Andy Stone, was...
A lower third identifies the speaker as Steve Patterson, Mayor, City of Athens.
Really feeling the brunt of being able to deliver on this project because we had requirements that we had to meet, for...
Mayor Patterson continues speaking on camera.
The funding that we were receiving, but at the end of the day, the way I operate as the mayor of Athens, it's a team.
The camera pulls back, revealing 2 lapel pins on Patterson's jacket, a blue and yellow flag pin and a circular seal pin.
Full-on team to where Andy's part of that team, Andrew Chicky, Deputy Service Safety Director, is part of that team, the auditor.
A 2016 slide titled Armory Project Overview lists 5 goals. Restore and preserve the historic structure per U.S. Department of the Interior Standards for Historic Preservation. Adaptive reuse provides a public benefit. Identify market opportunities for revenue and long-term financial viability. Prepare architectural site plans and estimated costs for renovations. And engage public input for response to market recommendations.
And the deputy auditor are part of that team. City Council is part of that team at the end of the day. So, it was really...
At the 2016 Armory public planning session, a person in a blue striped shirt stands and gestures while addressing a room full of seated attendees.
One of those things where we all leaned in together. It wasn't like anybody sitting there top down, this is how we're going to do things, need to get this stuff done.
A 2016 slide titled Possible Future, ground floor shows a detailed architectural floor plan labeled Lower Level Floor Plan.
It was, where do we need to make some pivots? Where do we need to make some modifications? Who do I need to call as the
Mayor Patterson gestures with one hand while speaking on camera.
mayor? Andy, who do you need to call to make sure that we are able to effectively get this project across the finish line? And
Two people wearing hard hats, one yellow, one blue, examine a large dark framed glass panel set into a concrete block wall inside a construction site.
on time, which was a tall order to do since we were dealing with American Rescue Plan dollars from the state as a big contributor to this project, but we did it. You know, again, it was just all hands on deck, and teamwork is how you get it done.
A yellow City of Athens, Ohio hard hat rests on a large stone outdoors.
It's those meetings that don't happen in public but are meetings with the mayor and his staff where you hear
Two people wearing hard hats, one yellow City of Athens, Ohio, one blue, stand inside a construction interior, the person in the yellow hat gesturing with an open hand.
a lot of the background about how all the hoops we have to jump through to get this done. And you know, we're here, and that's
Four people in hard hats converse inside a large open construction space with scaffolding and exposed brick walls.
great, but it really takes everybody kind of working together with this vision and doing everything we need to do to get it.
A person in a yellow City of Athens, Ohio hard hat gestures upward toward exposed brick walls beside a red ladder, with a blue hard hat wearing person alongside.
To get there.
Andrew Chicky has been really thoughtful and honest with me about this project is important and
The person in the yellow hard hat gestures with both hands raised while speaking to the person in the blue hard hat.
this is how we have to care for it together. And working with Mayor Patterson and Andy Stone has been
Two people in blue hard hats stand beneath dense scaffolding, one pointing upward toward a white paneled ceiling in a large construction space.
just an interesting perspective on all the things that I see from the outside functioning in the city, and being a part of it is like a completely different story.
Exterior shot of the castle-style dark brick building with pink and yellow flowers in the foreground. Then a title card appears, a black and white photo of the same building beside the quote, "Good buildings come from good people, Stephen Gardner." The title card fades to black as the next segment begins.
A building really is about the people and stories that are created. By having a new use and being in this space physically, we are remembering the people and stories that came before us. We're actually adding a new
Assistant Service Safety Director Andrew Chicky speaks at a microphone, overlaid on a vintage color illustration of the castle-style brick building.
chapter.
This building is now a bridge between the past and the future. It stands as a reminder of the sacrifices made by those who came before us and as a beacon of hope for what lies ahead.
The speaker transitions from Andrew Chicky to Colonel Jonathan Stewart, Ohio asked. Adjective for Army, Ohio National Guard, in military uniform with ribbons, then fades to black.
I became mayor in 2016, and it was at that point where
A person wearing glasses, a dark suit, orange pattern tie, and lapel pins, including a Ukrainian and U.S. flag pin, speaks inside a white steel-framed interior space.
I sat down with our city planner, Paul Logue, who had been the city planner since 2008.
Paul Logue, Athens City Planner 2008 to 2023, speaks with both hands raised, against an exposed brick wall interior.
Under the previous administration, and really, looked in this space.
A person in a black coat stands with both arms raised inside a brick-walled hall surrounded by large colorful creature sculptures and a puppet figure, as the shot dissolves to the next speaker.
Walk through this space and always going, we've got to repurpose this building. We have to. It was being used for cold storage. There was old paper records that were literally rotting away in this building. There was old computers, there was old...
A before label overlays a room filled with stacked archive boxes and empty metal shelving units, with exposed brick visible on the left wall.
Tables and desks, and there was even church pews in here from Arts West that found its way into this building. And
Steve Patterson, mayor of the city of Athens, speaks to camera inside a building with white structural beams visible behind him.
Again, with no purpose, no future for those items other than to sit in here and die. And then COVID hit. And it was with COVID that it kind of really struck us at that point in time. It's like, wait a minute, everyone's having to.
A before label overlays an empty room with heavily peeling paint on the walls, exposed brick along the base, a bare concrete floor, and 2 tall windows.
Work remotely. Wouldn't it be great if we could create a co-work, share workspace kind of environment to where people could work elsewhere, but also with the drill floor, the sweet spot in the city of Athens is having a small conference or reception venue.
A 2025 label overlays an overhead view of a renovated event hall with rows of folding chairs, black draped refreshment tables, and string lights overhead, with exposed brick on one wall.
Or musical performances in that 250 seat range. And so we said that could still be used for that purpose.
4 people stand conversing on the open floor between the rows of chairs. 2 more people sit at a round high-top table in the foreground.
And then also maybe having an anchor tenant, such as the anchor tenant we have now, which is the Athens County Foundation. And then
an empty conference room with tables arranged in a U-shape, black mesh chairs, 4 tall narrow windows, and a laptop displaying waitlist on a white cabinet to the right.
We just started looking for funding, and unfortunately, Paul Logue passed away several years ago. But it was with his
The Athens County Foundation logo fades over the conference room as the scene transitions.
passing and the work that he did with me in this amazing space, that it was like, I've got to continue to honor Paul because he was there all along the way and blue skying it as much as I was blue skying it. So
an architectural rendering labeled Architectural Rendering shows a 2-story interior with exposed brick walls, a central glazed tower element, upper level balconies, a staircase on the left, and a vaulted roof with a skylight.
So it's just so enriching to know that we're going to name the great space here after a moniker.
A final result label overlays a wide shot of the renovated hall with rows of folding chairs on a wood floor, pendant lights, ceiling fans, a mezzanine level, and groups of people standing near high-top tables.
That I mentioned during his celebration of life, which was, I can't rename the city of Athens Logueville, but if I could, I would. And so it'll be the Logueville Great Hall that is the performance conference space behind me.
A photo of Paul Logue, labeled Paul Logue 1974 to 2023, appears as an inset over the Logueville Great Hall.
I'm excited for this stage because I feel like it's an opportunity for me to do what I really see my role is, which is like breathing life into it. Getting folks in here.
Sadie Mead, director of Blue Dot Co-working, speaks inside a space with exposed ceiling trusses and pendant bulb lighting.
That are interested in collaborating with each other and really honoring the history of the building and the brick and the light and the hardwood and just appreciating what a community building can mean for its community.
The Great Hall with rows of folding chairs on a hardwood floor transitions to a 3D architectural rendering of the Athens Armory building exterior. A slide displays a quote beside a photo of the Athens Armory. "It is not the beauty of a building you should look at, it's the construction of the foundation that will stand the test of time." David Allen Coe.
As someone who's been around a lot of armories across the state in various roles in the National Guard, I know that they are solid buildings. Now, they may need a lot of upkeep and care and renovation, but
a black and white historical photograph shows the Athens Armory's brick facade with a central arched entrance, crenellated roofline, and multi-pane windows across 3 stories.
Their bones are very solid, and certainly this one, built out of clay mined from this site. Where the clay.
A black and white photograph labeled Representation shows a low concrete structure surrounded by bare trees and snow-covered ground.
Mine was right at this spot is absolutely a solid structure that's going to last another 100 years. We're sure of it.
The renovated Athens Armory exterior appears in color with pink and yellow mums in the foreground and 2 flagpoles. Credits roll over a wood engraved armory illustration. Athens Armory, Rebirth of an Icon, Producers, Jason Dudash, Ryan Schwartzhoff. Executive Producer, Scott Thompson. Editor, Jason Dudash. Videographers, Ryan Schwartzhoff, Jason Dudash, Scott Thompson. The Government Channel staff. Special thanks, Steve Patterson, Andy Stone, Sam Crowell, Sadie Mead, Andrew Chicky. End card reads a production of the Government Channel, City of Athens, Ohio. Copyright 2025 over an illustration of a brick building with an arched entrance, then fades to black.